Hey everybody, today we are going to be making Colby cheese. I am going to be heating this up to about 86 degrees, but at about the 65 to 70 degree mark I'm going to add the needle coloring and the calcium chloride. At the 86 degree mark I'm going to add the rennet. Turn the burner on low, medium low. We'll get her heating up. We'll turn the thermometer on. Alright, and once it heats up and I start adding the coloring and the calcium, I will be back. Alright everybody, it is now 70 degrees, so I'm going to add the needle coloring. This is 20 drops in a quarter cup of water diluted. It has to be non-chlorinated water, because if it's chlorinated, the chlorine will kill your culture when you put that in here. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to stir it in nice and good here. And you always have to put the needle coloring in first. You do not put it in after the calcium chloride, because they will react. Alright, now that the coloring is stirred in, we will add the calcium chloride. And this is also a quarter cup of non-chlorinated water. Just to make sure this is well stirred in. Okay. Right now it is at 75 degrees. When it gets up to 86 is when we put in the mesophilic culture, and we have to let it sit and hydrate on top for about 2 minutes because it's freeze dried. But once it hits 86, I will get back with you guys. Okay, we're at 86 degrees. Now we can add the culture in, and this is what I'm using: mesophilic cheese starter culture. Okay. And I'm going to put the whole package in. If you look in there, that's about a quarter teaspoon in there. Sprinkle it on the top. Do not stir it in. You just sit here and sprinkle it in. And you let it sit here for about 2 minutes to rehydrate, because the culture is freeze dried. Okay, I'm going to shut the burner off because it is at 86 degrees. I don't want it to get any hotter. And it doesn't matter, it could go up a few degrees, it's not going to hurt it any. So don't freak out thinking that you've ruined your cheese. Okay. Then after I get it stirred in, then I have to let it ripen. I'm going to say for about an hour it has to ripen. And then after that, then we can add the rennet. So as soon as this rehydrates, I will be back. Alright, 2 minutes. Now I'm going to stir the culture in. I'm going to stir it for about a minute, give or take. Make sure it's well incorporated in there. And like I said on my other videos, they say you have to do an up and down motion, but I'm not going to. Alright, I think that's been about a minute. Now I am going to set my timer here for an hour. Start. Okay. And then after an hour is up, I will be back. Alright everybody, I'm back. Okay. It has now been ripening for an hour. Okay. Now we're going to add the rennet. This is a 1/4 teaspoon diluted in a 1/4 cup of non-chlorinated water. The reason why I use a quarter teaspoon of rennet is because it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of regular strength, but all I have is double strength, as you can see. So I have to cut it in half. Okay. So we're going to add this. And we're going to stir this for about a minute. You don't want to stir it any longer than a minute, because after about a minute that rennet starts thickening things up, starts coagulating everything. Like right now I can actually feel the milk, I can feel it starting to work. Alright, that's about good. Now we gotta make sure the milk is still here, so we're trying to stop it. Okay, now we're going to set the timer again for this time. We're going to start out at 45 minutes. Because the instructions say 45 minutes to an hour. So we're going to start at 45 minutes and then go from there. And then as soon as that time is up, we will be back. Well, 45 minutes is up, so let's see if this has a clean break.
Why don't you look in the last 3 places you worked? The fridge, the bathroom, and the fridge.
Actually, I find Jim's consistency rather comforting.
Yes, it does. Okay. So, I'm going to take my cheese harp here. We're going to cut it vertically or horizontally. Horizontally. Okay. Now we take our knife and cut it. Calls for 1 centimeter cubes to cut the curds into. That's less than a half an inch, so that's pretty small. So we're cutting them pretty small. Okay. Now we let it sit for about 5 minutes to let the curds heal up. And as soon as that happens, I will be back. Alright. They have healed up now. So now we have to raise it up to 102 degrees over 30 minutes. And it has to take all 30 minutes to get up to 102 degrees. So that's about 2 degrees every 5 minutes. Now we gotta stir it, but we gotta stir it very slowly, because if not, you could shatter the curd.
Jim, Joe's magazine is not a luxury.
Some people actually use their hands to stir this at this point. They'll take their hand and they'll dip their hand right in there and just start stirring. But I think it's disgusting. Not because your hand and arm ain't clean, but if you look all over your arm, you have all these hairs all over the place. You want hair inside your cheese? I know I don't. I mean, if I was going to put my hand in there, I actually have gloves that come all the way up to my elbow. No, I'm not gonna film the full hour, because after I get it up to 102 within 30 minutes, then I gotta maintain that temperature for another 30 minutes. So I'm not going to film that. So I will be back when that is all done. Alright, we're done heating it up. Now we have to drain the whey out up to the level of the curds. I'm not going to save this whey, so I'm just gonna get it out of here. Okay.
So we gave my dog a bath the other day, and I thought, what would my dog say if he could talk? I think it might go a little something like this. Hey, what's this? Hey, I'm only getting a good stick going, and now you're holding me down. What's that, dog? You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not going to save this whey, so I'm just going to dump it right down the sink. Okay, now I'm going to put the thermometer back in it. Now we have to add cold water to it. What we have to do is called washing the curds. We have to add cold water to it until it is 75 degrees. And then once it hits 75 degrees, then we continue to stir it. It's only at 90, so we're going to add some more water to it. Alright, well that took it down to 86. We want to take it down to 75. We're at 84. Alright. To 78. To 77. I want to take it down to 75. There we go.
Hey, does this mean I think your lines in the middle of the bed too?
Yes. But here we'll be like Canada, a lot of free trade going back and forth.
Oh, now jump back up to 76. A little bit more here.
This is not going to work. Everything looks good on me. I know.
75.7.
You obviously don't want to do this. Why don't you just keep the clothes? You don't understand. You're single. Marriage is compromised. I promised you a big lifting thing. Oh, Cheryl, could you be any more hung up on making your marriage work?
75.7.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn around.
Okay, now we have to keep it at this temperature for the next 15 minutes and stirring all the time. So I will come back when this is all done. Alright, we're done with washing the curds. Now we have to drain them and then let them set in the colander for about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. There's the gloves here, and I'm probably going to be scraping the pan out. Now we have to let this set and drain for 15 minutes.
We just do it to yourself. Can you play please?
You might as well let her drain in the pan. While it's sitting right here. And we'll take it, we'll cover it up. And then once it gets done draining, then we'll be back because we're going to have to crush it up into little walnut size and then add salt and then press it. And then once that's done, then we'll put her in the cheese cave. Alright, it's done sitting for 15 minutes. It's all drained, or pretty close to being all drained. So now we are going to break it up into walnut size pieces.
When you punch them, you think that you are right. When you punch
And then after that,
you understand? Well, I'm a little confused about this myself.
I'm going to put it in the mold and press it.
Okay, here it is, honey. You punched your sister. Okay, did that feel good?
No.
Okay. Now you wish you hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the reason right there. It's the reason why you should never punch anyone. Okay?
You know, as far as breaking it up into walnut pieces, I think it's a little finer than walnut
Whatever it
pieces.
is you do, you know,
But that's all right.
punch.
Yeah.
She makes me candy.
Now it called for 2 tablespoons of salt, so I put 2 tablespoons of salt in this bowl. It just makes it easier to sprinkle on. I can do it in a couple steps. That way, and make sure that it gets incorporated throughout all of it.
Yes.
Hey, you just thought everybody would like to know that Gracie is going to be okay. Now, something you girls would like to say to each other?
I'm sorry. Did we eat poop burgers? Want me to reach you? Yeah. And Bunny looked at his friend Turtle and said, have you seen my house? No, I'm not in your house, Miss Turtle. Then can I stay at your house, Bunny?
Zero, we need some of those damn violent cartoons. We got pigs eating ducks and rabbits without pants. I mean, it's a recipe for mayhem.
Yeah, wherever we go, we're parents. And our kids are watching us, trying to figure out how to live their lives.
Okay, I get it.
And you know, I really try to be aware of the message I'm sending. I try to set a good example, and you know, you should too.
Good example, man.
Good girls, dinner!
Good, we're done.
And you know, honey, did you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't know what to feel? You know how that is. I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, what would
Okay.
Cheryl do?
That's all done. Now,
And then you do that.
I gotta set the press up. As soon as I set the press up, I'll be back with you to show you that. Okay. Now comes time to press it. So, gotta make sure that your cheesecloth is nice and tight, because you don't want to get wrinkles in there, because then the wrinkles will be in your cheese. Okay. And you fold it. Preferably just one side, whatever side is the biggest to fit up on her, to fit on it. Which would probably be this one. Then you put your follower in. Got to adjust the press here. Okay. And you bring her down.
Do you think this is appropriate?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing about this song. It sounds like you're going to say something dirty we never do.
Okay. And I'm going to take the lock off. Bring her down. Okay. Now I got to put 22 pounds on it for about 15 minutes. So, sorry about that, but the battery died in my camera and I had to change it real quick. Now I was saying I'm going to start with a 20 pounder, 20 pounds for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to put a 2 liter on it. And there she goes. Alright, now I gotta have something to catch it in. just use one of these little trays. And yeah, she's doing pretty good. She's working right now.
I genuinely thought you were funny.
Okay, alright. The next pressing, I will be back. Or the next flip, I mean. Okay, it's time for the second flip. So we've had it in here for 15 minutes. So the next flip is going to be 40 pounds for 20 minutes. Yeah. So I'm going to take the 20-pound one off. Lock the press up. Pull it out here. A lot of liquid, a lot of liquid. Gently, because the cheesecloth might stick to it, so you got to be gentle. Okay, and then we flip her over. Okay, there we go. Grab each corner. Put her back in the mold. Okay. And then, like before, make sure the cheesecloth is nice and tight, because you don't want wrinkles in your cheese. Okay. Put it back in. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. And I'm going to take one of these blocks of wood and set on top of it. Make sure it's nice and centered. Because that way, when you push down, it spreads the weight of the pressure over the whole flour and not just the very center of it. Okay. And then put the weight back down there. And we got this little piece I made for hanging milk jugs. So you stick that on there. And then hang the milk jug from it. Okay. And then that's going to go for 20 minutes. Alright, as soon as that's done, we'll be back. Alright. Now this next pressing is going to be 55 pounds for 1 hour. So, okay, we're going to take the milk jug off, that's full of water. And we'll lock it up. Okay. Man, there's a lot of liquid on that baby. Wow. So you gotta be careful when you pull this off, because if not, you could pull some of the cheese right off of it. And you have the corners. Down in there, nice and even. And once again, you want to make sure that it's tight. Otherwise, you're going to get wrinkles in your cheese. And then you take the largest one and flap it over. Put your flour back on it. Put it in there. You take your block and put the block back on. And you want an even press against the entire flour, not just the center of it. So, I'm going to lower this down. Right there. Okay. Now, this one is going to be 55 pounds for 1 hour. So, I'm going to put this 2-liter on it. Come on. I'm going to put the 2-liter on it. Right along with the milk jug. There. And that'll sit like that for an hour. I'll make sure that this is centered. Okay. Alright, as soon as an hour is up, I'll be back. Alright, an hour has passed. So this is the last time we're going to flip it. The next time is going to be 12 hours from now. Alright, so here we go. Pack that away. Okay. Put some gloves on here so I can turn that around. Okay. Alright, we're going to flip it up and lock it. Pull that out. Man, that's a lot of liquid in there. Yeah.
And just for your information, he called 20 minutes ago. Turned down the offer for that job.
He did?
Yeah.
What is it with you and your family? What are you all seeds?
Listen, honey. I just think you need to figure out...
You got to make sure that the cheese is actually centered.
Buttery garlic spread? Liz really stuffed it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
Yeah.
sure you can key. The housekeeper gave me a key. What a stuff crazy crust for $9.49. That's what game day delivered with Little Caesars. Pizza. I'm the team mascot. Boy, am I running late. I don't know what it is. And if you never have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might take your season. Get off, Dave. It would be better protected from mayhem, but it's me.
Alright. Now this time I'm going to use 2 milk jugs. So we're going to put this first milk jug on it. And the second milk jug. There's the first one. There's the second one. Okay. So now there's 2 milk jugs on it. Alright, and that's got to sit for 12 hours. And after that, then we'll let it sit for anywhere between 1 to 3 days to dry out. And then it's going to go in the cheese cave. Alright, thank you for watching. Well, everybody, it's been 12 hours. So we're going to remove these milk jugs. There's 2 of them. And it equals out of a pressure on this of about 80 to 90 pounds. Okay, we're going to lock our press up. Okay. Dump off, see if there's any water on it. No. Now, before I actually touch the cheese, I'm going to put gloves on. And you gotta be careful of how you do this, because sometimes the cheesecloth will actually stick to the cheese, and you don't want that because you can rip the cheese. So you gotta be gentle in how you take it off. It looks pretty good so far. The only problem with this mold that I do not like is the follower is not the right size. I mean, it is, but you see how it squeezes the cheese all around. So now I gotta cut this off because I can't flip it over and see if it'll knit again. But if you look, the follower does not fit in here. You see the gaps that are in it? They need to make it to where that follower fits in there nice and snug. And yes, I get it that this is on an angle, the sides are, but make it straight up and down. Okay, now I'm going to let this air dry for 1 to 3 days, dry to the touch. After that, then I'm going to vacuum seal it, write on it what it is, date of birth, stuff like that. Then I'm going to put it in the cheese cave, and that's where it will age anywhere from a month to 6 months. The directions say 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm going to take a little longer than that. So, thanks for watching.